Hello, you guys. Here a little bit earlier than normal. Usually I'm on about 10 minutes after, but I thought I would surprise you. See who's around today. Oh, there's a bunch of you on early. Hello, Jeff, Ken, Jose, Deep Blue. Let's check out the fish reports. I haven't even checked them out today. Let's see who caught what. Terry, you ate all those bass already? Well, that was a lot of fish. Hey, Lewis. Jason. Let me see what the fish report is here. New Enterprise had yellowtail today. Sounds like local yellowtail too. Let's see. So out of San Diego, what do they have? Fisherman's had 172 bluefin, 57 yellowfin. Point Loma had 48 bluefin, 11 yellowfin. H&M had 87 bluefin, 87 bluefin with 19 yellowfin. Seaforth had 116 yellowfin tuna, 220 bluefin. That's pretty good. Long Beach Sport Fishing, sculpin, calico bass, sand bass, one yellowtail. San Pedro had 2 yellowtail. I don't see Pure Points Roosevelt sitting here yet. Surprised they're not here. But it sounds like Andy did good on the Enterprise. They had a lot of big sand bass, calico bass, barracuda, bunch of sculpins, some whitefish, and yellowtail. That's cool. The Tribute had limits of tuna today. Wow. Limits of bluefin yesterday, 75 pounds, and 32 yellowfin on top of that. It's good. Redondo Special is running again. Monte Carlo, what did Walt do? Sculpin. I think he concentrated on the sculpin. Let's see what else is going on. So Terry ate her limits of calico bass in one day. Jeff, you saw the Mirage had 108 white sea bass? I didn't see that. Channel Islands. Oh yeah, 108 white sea bass there. Wow. Yep. Mirage had 2 days, 18 anglers catch 108 white sea bass. That's a lot of white sea bass. I guess he didn't call anybody in because nobody else on the landing had white sea bass. Be nice when they talk to one another. But that's the way boats are. I wasn't out on the water today, but I was down by the boat today, this afternoon, and it was blowing really hard. Lots of wind. Let's see what else is here. Miguel saying hello from Pomona. Terry said they ate all the fish at one time. Jonathan's telling me to stay safe. I'm trying. So Jeff was out fishing yesterday. He had limits on bluefin tuna, 12 yellowfin tuna, and 2 Dorados. Oh, that's awesome. A 202-pound bluefin tuna. Were you in Mexico or were you in U.S. waters? Are they getting closer up here? There's JJ5183 Mike. Hey Dan, first time I caught your live broadcast. Love your tips. You're the man. I guess I'm the man. Okay, guys, just a reminder, if we can sell 100 tickets today, or we have to wait till Tuesday, we'd like to raffle off the free ticket for someone to go on either the Triton or the Gale Force. And I really would like to do it today, but we need to sell more tickets. We didn't sell too many tickets the other day. So Jeff says he's kind of catching his tuna right at the border. They're getting them in Mexican waters and U.S. waters. That's cool. No, the fish do not need passports. These tuna will probably go all the way to Japan and back. They travel a big area. They don't have passports. And if you're going tuna fishing, you don't need a passport. The only time you need a passport if you're fishing Mexico is if you're fishing less than 12 miles offshore. So if you're fishing Coronado Islands, Colonet, San Martin Island, Geronimo, you must have a passport. But if you're fishing offshore, 20 miles, 15 miles, 100 miles, fishing tuna, you do not need a passport. You do need a Mexican fishing license, but you do not need a passport. Oh, that's good, Jeff. I wish they were closer up here. I'd like to go look for them on my boat. I heard reports that some people saw tuna not too far off Catalina Island, but I haven't seen any pictures of anyone catching any. There's probably some tuna right off 14 Mile Bank, but I don't think anybody's willing to go spend gas right now and go look. I think people want to see pictures of fish. Dennis, I'll see you this Saturday on City Long Beach. Hope you got my emails. Boats leaving at 6. Please be down there no later than 5:30. And you probably want to get there a little bit earlier because you have to get a parking pass and they're making everybody sign waivers. Hey, Henry. Yellowfin tuna in Toronto. Yep. Yeah, we need a couple more hurricanes to push the fish farther north to get them up here. Where do you check the weather? I use NOAA. It's a free one. It's a federal government. So I can find a link for you. Why can't I find it when I'm looking for it? Marine forecasts. Okay. Of course, I can't find the one I'm trying to find for you guys. Marine forecasts, NOAA. Marine forecast. I can't find it. I check it all the time. Doesn't want to give it to me today. Marine forecast is the one I use. I use the NOAA one. And normally it pops up all the time really easy. For some reason, I cannot get it to pop up today. All right, sorry guys, I can't get it. I always get it. That's what I can't believe. I check it all the time. All right, I'll have to look for it later. So Jonathan wants to know what's biting right now locally. The Newport boats are fishing all the way up here in Long Beach. You'd be better off going out of Long Beach because you have a shorter boat ride. or San Pedro even. But every Newport boat I've seen on my private charters, freelance, all the other boats, except for the overnight boats, have been fishing anywhere from Isers to Horseshoe Kelp. How often do I service my reels? Depends what I'm catching. For the charter boat, I probably service them once a year, and I use in between if I have to. I'll use the Lucas oil, the reel oil, if they start getting a little sticky. But other than that, I take them in once a year and have the drags changed and stuff. Where can you find the best boat burrito? Well, without Marky around anymore, that's a tough question. There's a lot of good burritos out there. Jeff, I know my buddy tried Desperation Sunday, no bluefin. Hello, Daniel. Yeah, I was trying to get on the Noah side right now, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm just getting the buoy one. I'm not getting Noah. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here today. Usually it works perfect. Every time I want to find the weather. Maybe I found it finally. Yes, finally. Okay, here we go. So here is the Long Beach area one. And what you want to do is use that map that's on the right there and put the cursor, just pick any place you want, and it will give you the weather report for that area. So here you go, there's that. Finally, I got it. Looks like they're expecting fog for the weekend. So going on the Excel. If you're going to be on the Excel, I don't know how many days you're going, but Jeff says he caught a 200-pound tuna yesterday. So I'm not sure what size hooks he's using, but I would say plan on bringing everything from a size 2 to probably at least a 3.0 or 4.0. And you want the heavier wire hooks for the tuna. Don't use the really thin wire that you might use for calico bass or barracuda fishing. You have to use a heavier hook. Now, most guys like to use circle hooks for the bluefin because they have teeth, but other guys just go with straight J hooks. What else? So Tyler says El Dorado has the best breakfast burrito. I don't know. Lewis, what do you mean by what conditions are safe tide-wise? The tide changes every 6 hours, so I'm out there all the time while the tide's changing. It shouldn't be anything to really worry about. Raspberry wants to know, where is usually more productive for you, Isers or the Horseshoe? Normally I would say the Horseshoe, but this year Isers has been pretty good. I haven't seen any yellowtail at Isers though, and you're probably going to see more yellowtail at the Horseshoe. But Isers, surprisingly, has been really good on the bass fish. I mean, it's always good on sand bass, but I haven't seen as many calicos and big calicos as on Isers like I've seen this year. We've seen a lot of calicos on Isers, but there's always been a ton of calicos on Horseshoe, and this year hasn't been any different. Cameron wants to know if I think his chances are good of catching a fish on a day-and-a-half trip in August. I think your chances are as good as they get for going tuna fishing on a day-and-a-half trip in August. Jeff was just out on a one-day trip on his boat, and they had lots of fish. But yeah, no, I think you'll be good. And if you have 2 weeks off, I would probably do, one trip each week to improve your chances, but you should do good. Lewis. Yeah, Lewis, you don't need an app to find out the fish reports. Just go to 976 Tuna and you can get all the fish reports. Hello, Lloyd. How's Las Vegas? Daniel. He wants to know, did 22nd Street Landing move? No, it has not moved. It's still on 22nd Street in San Pedro. Yeah, George's burrito and the Clemente were really good, but there was nothing like Marky's burgers and his burritos. His burritos were so big, people would eat half of it for lunch. Donkey wants to know, where's a good place to fish Saturday? My birthday is tomorrow. I'm going out on our boat on Huntington Beach. If you want a shot at more barracuda and a shot at yellowtail, I'd probably say go to the Horseshoe. If you want to just catch bass, you can start off at Isers and then work your way over to the Horseshoe. But I think between Horseshoe and Isers, you should be able to catch all the fish you need. Well, Willie, hello. Mike. So Mike doesn't want us all to go up to Big Bear, so we should all go to Big Bear this weekend and go trout fishing. And then we can ask everybody where Mike lives. Just a joke, Mike. He says that there's lots of traffic up there. He doesn't want people up there. Les, what should you know about next week's trip on the Excalibur? That's a good thing. I should call them and find out the departure time. I'll probably send everybody an email tomorrow, Les. You must have a mask to get on the boat. I don't know if they're going to enforce wearing a mask the whole time on the water. They might. But I know you will need a mask to get on the boat. They will check your temperature before you get on the boat. I'm pretty sure they're going to make you sign a release form to get on the boat. So, all that stuff. So, and I would be prepared for all kinds of different sizes of tuna. Look for anything from school-sized tuna to 200-pound tuna. And because it is a day-and-a-half trip, be ready to, have gear for nighttime fishing too, because we're going to get there in time to fish in the dark, I would think, before the sun comes up. So that's what I would say. So we're still doing the raffle for the free trip on the Triton or Gale Force. And we need to sell a bunch more tickets before we give away the ticket. So, well, Jeff pretty much agrees with me. Size 2 to size 4 are on the hooks. Tyler, most of the white sea bass trips are overnight trips. You might get lucky going out of Santa Barbara, going on a 3/4 day trip and catch white sea bass. But most of the trips are overnight trips. Normally the sea bass bite early, first few hours of the day. But they do bite sometimes. Like I have an episode running here soon that we filmed last year on the New Hustler. And we caught white sea bass in the middle of the day and into the afternoon. So I would say your best chance would be an overnight trip like the Mirage, like the New Hustler, that kind of stuff up in the Channel Islands. What else? Where are all the yellowtail? Probably at San Diego. There's not a whole lot of yellowtail down here. Yeah, Lloyd, I wash off my reels every trip. I don't sink them in water. I just wash them off with the hose. Hello, monster. I like that, Mike. Any bacon sounds good. Eric's here for the drawing. See what else is going on. Raspberry, have I fished a new Palos Verdes reef? No. It's going to take some time for that reef to get going because there's got to get a bunch of growth on it, got to get kelp to grow on it, and then the fish will be around it. Hey, Brandon. How's it going fishing? Good. Come join us for a trip next month. We have a bunch of trips for August. And we have spaces open on most of them. Yeah, Jeff, I wouldn't even be go tuna fishing on a weekend. That would be a mess. April. People are asking for you. Come get your hot dog. She is slowly working her way into the room. Luckily, fish do not eat like April. Never seen a calico go that slow to a sardine or an anchovy. Yeah, I miss Steve Kelly. He was a fun guy to fish with. Native American guy too. Really good skipper. He knew a lot about fishing. One of the best bites I was ever on during the day was on the Gale Force. Had to be like 25, maybe 30 years ago. We had limits of white sea bass for 20 guys. I think it was 2 fish limit then. And jackpot was over 50 pounds. There she is. All nice and happy. Hey, Paul. Okay, what are the questions? Manuel going out on the pursuit tomorrow, hopefully. Good luck. He isn't the nicest guy to other boats. Fish guy, no, I don't have any guests for tonight. Just me. Sorry. I'll see if I can get some guests for next week. Next week I'll be here Tuesday. I won't be here Thursday because Thursday I'll be on the Excalibur on a day and a half trip. We leave Wednesday night, fishing Thursday, and I get in on Friday. So you guys won't see me here next Thursday. Just giving you a heads up. So Jack bought a reel for 100-pound tuna today. Most expensive reel he ever purchased. Well, wait till you start fishing for 1,000-pound marlin. Then that will be a really expensive reel. Or even 300-pound tuna, you'll need a bigger reel too. So Jeff says for the small tuna, he's using 20-pound gear and 300-pound gear on the bigger fish. So that gives you an idea of what kind of tackle you guys need to have for offshore trips. Daniel is looking for an offshore trip for October. I have one in October. I'll be on the Tomahawk. If you'd like to join me, you could get on that one. Let me put a link up here for our trips, our filming trips for August. Well, this will show you all the trips we have left for this year. I think we're going to add one more tuna trip, but I still got to call the skipper. Everybody's running scared right now with the virus. They're afraid it might get closed down again, but I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Yeah, Tyler, we'll be too far offshore to do live streaming. That is the problem. There's no internet service out that far. So let's just go here. Is asking, hey Dan, when dropper loop fishing for yellowtail, do you put the reel? Well, put the reel in gear, or what I do is I fish it in free spool. I always like to give the fish a chance to run with it, and you have to remember sardines right now are big. So even though yellowtail will engulf it, I still want it to be in it for a little while. So I'll put it in free spool, wait like 5-7 seconds, let it run with it really good, then put it in gear. And it's really important, you guys, when you put your reel in gear, that you don't swing right away. And I know that sounds hard to believe, but most people, and I see this on every one of my private charters, most people will, as soon as the fish is running, put the reel in gear and swing right away. Worst thing to do. What you want to do, let the fish run for at least 5 seconds. Put the reel in gear, point the rod at the fish, and don't do anything. Okay? Don't do anything. Wait for your rod tip to start pointing right in the water toward the fish. At that point, keep winding down, get all the stretch out, and you feel the head of the fish, then set the hook. If you have a circle hook, just keep winding. But if you have a J hook, then you want to set the hook and set it hard. But I see so many fish get away because people get bit, line screaming off the reel, they throw it in gear and they swing right away. And if you do that without tightening up the line, you're just going to let the fish know that you're there and you're going to lose it. Especially bass fishing, because you have to go through so many small bass to catch a legal bass. I think yesterday we caught probably 70 bass to catch 20 legals. So those smaller bass with the big sardine, you really got to let them eat it. I mean, really got to let them eat it. And you have to wait 5-10 seconds sometimes and let them run with it, then set the hook on them. So, and on my trips, we do a lot of circle hooks just because there's so many short bass right now. We don't want to kill them all. So we're releasing all those little fish. So we just go ahead and do that. Recommended rigs for San Diego. I guess you mean tuna fishing. There's probably really just 2 rigs. I mean, Jeff can tell you some more. But it's going to be fly lining with no sinker. And it's going to be fly lining, or not fly lining, but using a larger torpedo sinker with a rubber band going down deeper. And that's what a lot of guys like Jeff are doing. Catch the bigger tuna, getting down below those school fish, and getting down sometimes 100 feet or so to the bigger fish that are down below. And remember, the fish are like in a pyramid. Usually on the top are the smaller fish, the faster fish, and down deeper, you often find the bigger fish, the slower fish that can't compete with the little fish. And I know you guys don't like skipjack, but you like to have skipjack in the count because that makes the fish more competitive for getting the baits. Okay. What other questions are here? What length pole do you recommend for my wife's new Daiwa spinning reel? I like 8-foot poles for casting. So 8-foot poles. Daniel, yes, April's been getting hot dogs. Her last little pieces are left here. That's the only way I can get her to come visit me in here. Dan, is there anything you would recommend to help me remove fish scales from my fishing rod? Maybe a butter knife? I don't know. You really want to get those scales off every trip. Yeah, getting them off the rod is easy. Just wet the rod, use a towel, and you can get them off. The ones that are hard are on the hypalon. Those are hard to get off. Manual, Indiana. What marine radio channels do you listen to when you're on the water? On my boat, I just leave my radio on channel 16. I just listen for emergencies, or if somebody's hailing me, they call me on channel 16. Name of my boat's Mi Sueño, so you can call me on 16. Then we can go to another channel and talk. I'm not listening to what the other boats are doing. If I want to talk to a skipper, I call him on the phone and we talk over the phone. But we usually don't talk on the radio. I do sometimes call in other skippers on the radio, and if I see them coming by me, and I'll let them know. Daniel is asking, what is the down payment? Maybe I missed something. What is the down payment for what? Have you ever tried night? Fish guy, have you ever tried night deep drop sword fishing? A lot of the deep drop sword fishing is done during the day because it's so deep. But no, I haven't done that. I saw a swordfish last week going to Catalina, we drove right by him just to spook him. But I had no desire to drop a bait on him because my two passengers I had only had two guys and they wanted a limited calico bass, and that's all they wanted. So if we hooked him to that swordfish, we would have spent the next 12 hours trying to land a swordfish that we may not have gotten. Jeff, you had anchovies? There's no anchovies up here in Long Beach. I wish we had anchovies. Okay, Leita, you asking about my trips? We don't do down payments. You have to pay for the whole trip. So if you want to go on one of our trips, you just pay for the whole trip. Sorry. We used to do that years ago, and then we had so many people cancel. You know, the fish counts weren't really good. They'd cancel, and then we'd have a lot of trouble having to fill trips last minute. So now we don't do that. Now you have to pay for the trip all up front. If you want to cancel 3 weeks ahead of time, we'll give you a full refund. But if you cancel with less than 3 weeks, we don't give out any refunds. Yeah, so Jeff's saying the big tuna are over 150 feet deep, so that's pretty good. Yeah, I don't think we can see any skipjack till we get more hurricanes. I mean, I know the water's kind of warm, but like you know, Jeff, we get those hurricanes coming up. There will be skipjack and more yellowfin. I don't know what that's going to do to the bluefin. We'll lose the bluefin, but I'm sure the bluefin will still be around. Angel RMS mandatory on charter boats. Yes, they are. They will not even let you on a boat without a mask. Some boats are making you wear the mask the whole day. They don't let you take it off. Some boats are more lax about it, but they all will make you wear the mask to get on and off the boat. When the boat's traveling, like to the island or something, they're not as picky about the mask because there's so much air and everything moving. It's when the boat stopped. A lot of the boats now have closed down their galleys in the boat. Like you can still order food and drinks and stuff, but you can't sit in the galley to eat. So that's happened. And some of the boats that have top decks, like the Enterprise, you can't go up on the top deck anymore. You have to stay down lower. Sergio, what's the best time next week for yellowtail fishing? I'm not a psychic. I'm sorry, I don't know. Whenever you can get out and go fishing, I would say. I would probably stay away from a full moon, which I don't think is coming right away. But I don't know what day will be the best day or what will be the best time. And I don't know where you're going to be going fishing next week. Eric, do you think cut squid or live bait is better for sand bass and twilight trips? I would probably think at night the squid's going to be better. Normally I fish live bait until the sun's all the way down, and then after the sun's down, I pretty much fish squid on a bucktail. And normally at night I'll fish like a 4-ounce or a 2-ounce B52 bucktail, depending how deep we're fishing, and I'll pin on a whole squid. is what I normally do. Hey guys, so we have like almost 100 people on here right now, but only 38 likes. Can we get some more likes? So there's a link for our trips for the year. Like I said, hopefully we're going to add a couple more trips. I'm trying to add a twilight trip and one more tuna trip, but I don't know yet. And then if you guys are interested in a private charter, here is the rates and trips that we offer. And I'm doing private charters weekdays, weekends, whenever we can. So 310's asking, would you think about sponsoring a trip for me? Probably not. But what you can do is get a raffle ticket, $5 raffle ticket, and you might win a $160 trip on the Triton or Gale Force. But all the trips that we do, that we film on, we have to help pay expenses and all that. So yeah, we don't give away free trips. Sorry. Good. What else? So F6 Outdoors, he just got back from his hook fin charter, limited out on halibut. That's a great boat. That's a great boat. Great captain. I heard Dave isn't there anymore. He was like a great deckhand. I wish he was still there. Or maybe you can tell me if he was there today. But I heard he was leaving, going back east. Hopefully he's still there. Oh, that's good. You got some anchovies in there. I wish we had anchovies. Okay, so it was a D-Moore 714. Just bought a 30-foot sport fisher, heading out to Catalina this weekend. Okay, so if you just bought a boat and you've never used the boat before, you might want to stay local the first trip before you run to the island, just to make sure that there's no issues like bad batteries, anything that's set up for anchoring. I don't know if this is your first boat or your 10th boat, but you normally want to do a shorter trip before you do a trip like all the way to the island. If dropper loop fishing, how can you judge your depth? If you're dropper loop fishing for tuna, that's a little bit harder. If you're dropper loop fishing for like yellowtail on a bank or lingcod fishing, something like that, you let your bait hit all the way to the bottom. And then if you don't want to be on the bottom, you can come up from the bottom a little bit. But if you're out in 3,000 feet of water, you can't really do that. Henry, in what order are the best live baits for local fishing? Everybody's going to say live squid is the number one bait, but it isn't always the number one bait, especially when the water starts getting warmer like this. Often the yellowtail and the bass will want the oils from the sardines and the anchovies. They need that oil to survive in the warmer water. But guys that are just fishing white sea bass will want the live squid because they seem to like the live squid better. But last year, we only caught 2 white sea bass in my boat, and both of them we caught on live sardines. So I would say, Squid, live sardines will probably be good. Andrew, you got a hall pass. Congratulations. Thanks for joining us. So the bluefin go out to the colder water and then they come back in November? Okay. Eric has got plenty of bucktails. Good. Yes, I need a crystal ball. Michael, have you ever seen an electric fishing reel? Yes, I have. Lots of guys used to use them back in the day when we used to fish 600, 800 feet for rock cod fishing, which you can't do today. But we even seen people use them for tuna fishing back when they were legal. And I see people using them now, like for swordfish, but I didn't know they were legal. So I don't know. I know guys use them on their kites, and that's legal because they're not winding in the fish with it. But I need to check out the rules on the whole electric reel thing. Steve. So Steve wants to know if renting an outfit like 100-pound would be beneficial. It will be only beneficial if you want to fish for big tuna. If you only have a gear set up for like 30 and 40-pound, maybe 50-pound, that will help you most of the time for a school-sized tuna. And 50, 60-pound, you could handle 100-pound tuna. If you get into those 200-pound tunas and bigger, like at nighttime fishing or down deep, you're not going to stand a chance. So if you can afford to rent an outfit, I would probably rent an outfit. If you don't have the heavier stuff. They're catching some big fish. Jeff is on here right now with us, and he had a 200-pounder that he caught yesterday. I don't know, maybe it was today, but he got a 200-pounder in his boat. So. Jeff, can you give an idea or a tip on a couple of guys are asking, how do you know when you're down 150 feet when you're offshore fishing? I mean, is it so many out? Does it take so many seconds or minutes to get down with a 10-ounce sinker, 12-ounce sinker? I don't know. You saw fly fish sporting her. Okay. Angel, how many hours is a half day and how many hours is a full day? On my trips, a half day is 5 hours. It's normally from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. A full day is 8 to 10 hours, depending where we're fishing. I think a 3/4 day is like 6 hours. Yeah, so I think it's like 6 hours. Half day is 5 hours. A 3/4 day is like 6 to 7 hours. And a full day is like 8 to 9 hours. Any advice for tuna fishing at night? And a few times. 3 a.m. Yeah, Tyler, if you want to fish for big fish and you're out there at 3 a.m., go deep. Like Jeff is saying, at least 100 feet. He's saying he's down 150 feet. And you want to use a rubber band with a sinker and get down there. Or you can use like a flat fall Or if you want, you can use a magic metal jig, 10 ounce, but rig it with a large single hook. And you can put a trap hook above it too. But those are the 3 ways you're going to catch them. How far have you gone out on your boat? Me? Not that far, maybe San Clemente Island. That's about it. Lloyd, did you have a survey done on your boat before you bought the boat? I'm not sure if you're talking to me or the gentleman that just talked about buying a boat and he's going to Catalina this weekend. I always get a survey done before I buy a boat. I've made that mistake twice before. Yeah, that's a good idea, Jeff. If you're new to boating and you've never run your boat before, and if you have a boat with twin engines and you've never run it, you might want to hire me to take you out on it and show you how to do it. Yep, that was a good white sea bass on that trip, Jeff. I don't know if that was the same episode where we had black sea bass eating barracuda and calico bass behind the boat. I think that was the same episode. So Bronson just got back from 8 days. Sounds like he had a good trip. Thank you, Cole. I'm glad you appreciate this. I try to help you guys out as much as I can. And we started this all out with the whole. Okay, so Jeff's saying you cannot land a fish on electric reel. But Jeff, that's what guys are using for swordfish. They're fishing with electric reels going down 1,000 feet. So I don't know what that's all about. Caesar, I'm trying to rent my own. I'm trying to rent my own boat, or do you? So Caesar, you have a boat, and you're trying to rent your own boat. What do you recommend? I would never rent out my boat, but you know, I don't even know if you need a business license to do that. I don't know how insurance would work on that. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask that question. Yeah, I don't like those rainbow braid lines. I don't know why, but I see them more tangles than any other line. So Gone Fishing's asking, will we run into bluefin on the Excalibur trip? I would think so. I would think we're going to run into bluefin. And now it sounds like we might have a chance of running into yellowfin because fish are starting to run into yellowfin right now. Yeah, I always thought like Jeff that you can't use electric reel for fishing, but I don't know. I'm not an expert at that stuff. Javier, hey Dan, my wife and I are on the East Cape trip. Cool. Make sure you bring a mask with you. We still have plenty of room if anybody wants to join us on the East Cape. We're leaving July 30th and returning August 3rd. So you can call the office if you have any questions about that. 562-865-3764. That's our office number. Ivan wants to know what I think of Rapala lures. Some of them are really good. I mean, I grew up using them. It just depends what you want to do. Their trolling lures are pretty good. I wouldn't get the ones with the metal lip. I'd go with the hard plastic lip. The metal lips seem to get bent a lot when you're out fishing. So Raspberry, I have a 19-foot center console. How much anchor rope should I have to fish the local and islands? It depends where you're fishing. If you're fishing the Horseshoe, you want at least 200 feet. If you're fishing sculpin grounds, you probably want 300 feet of rope. If you have a 19-foot boat, you're going to want at least 20 feet of chain. And if you're not going to have that much rope, you might want to go 25 feet of chain. I know some people like to have double the length of chain of their boat. I don't do that on my boat. I have a 31-foot boat that all the way with the swim step and the pulpit's 35 feet. I have 40 feet of chain on my boat, but sometimes we drag a little bit. So, but I don't have a really long piece of chain because I move a lot. We move the boat a lot. So we do that. Victor, I don't think, now Jeff doesn't do charters, I don't think, maybe. Most of the time he's out on his boat with clients of his that he's taking out fishing. Yes, we have over 100 people. So Steve's going out on a 2.5-day trip. So you really need to have gear from 30 pound up to 100 pound. If you have that kind of gear, bring it. If you don't have that kind of gear, you probably want to bring what you have, like a 30, a 40, 50, or a 30, 40, and 60, and then maybe rent a heavier one if you need to. There's a lot of different chum buckets out there. I have one on my boat. Haven't used it in a while. What is the name of it? Chum Buddy. Chum Buddy. That works pretty good. Matthew, the calico bass are everywhere right now. They're at Isers. They're on the pipes. They're in the kelp. They're really easy to catch right now. Problem is getting legal ones. I mean, I have trips where we're catching 75 bass to get 40 legals, or it feels like 100 bass to get 40 legals. What's my favorite type of salsa? Victor wants to know. I usually just add serrano chilies and some jalapeno chilies. I like chilies, so I add stuff all the time. Abraham. Not you remember me, little boat rider went on last month. Yeah, Abraham, how you doing? I'm not sure. What spots do I recommend for yellowtail? There are people hooking fish at the farm. I don't recommend anchoring at the farm because there's lots of cables there. And if your anchor drags, you're going to hook a cable and you may not get out of there. So be careful anchoring at the farm. You might want to look around the Horseshoe for yellowtail. But a couple of boats caught some yellowtail today, looks like. So I'm not sure what else to tell you guys. When will we do the raffle drawing? Let me see how many people bought tickets. Oh, we're not going to do it today. We only sold, I think, 4 tickets today. So I guess we'll try to do it on Tuesday. So, yeah, we're not going to do the drawing today. We didn't sell enough tickets. If you guys want to buy some tickets before Tuesday, maybe we can do the raffle then. But it's an expensive prize. $160 ticket to go on the Gale Force or the Trident. So. April. Sure. Her last little hot dog for today. Here she comes. What are you so nervous about? And we won't see her again because there's no more hot dogs for her. Okay, last couple of questions. Jeff, I didn't hear that they went bankrupt. I heard it got sold, but I don't know who the new owners are. But I haven't heard it went bankrupt. Put a 30-second video up about the raffle. All right, let's see if I can film one. Yeah, I just put a video up today letting people know that I'm doing these on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So maybe that's why we got more people today. I have 125 right now with 67 likes. That's great. I really appreciate that, you guys. So, yeah, we need to sell at least $150 worth of raffle tickets to give away a $160 prize. But that's not going to happen. So maybe on Tuesday, between now and Tuesday, more people will sign up. So if you guys are looking for a private fishing charter, here is my link to my website. Kevin, no, I don't think that's the old Indian, because the Indian was bought. I thought they were moving it back here, but if it stayed in Redondo, it could be. I don't know. I haven't seen a picture of the boat. And there was a neat little boat that I saw at Catalina yesterday, and I think it was from Redondo too. So it's nice to see that they got more boats going. Yeah, Jeff, we filmed a little bit of calico bass fishing, but nothing too exciting. Maybe I'll edit it up and post it up for you guys. And then those of you that like to fish with me in August, here are my trips for August. So you can go there and sign up and join me. Yeah, Rocket. We do have the beginner bucktail kits. If we're out of them right now, just call the office tomorrow and ask Monica to restock them on the website. But we do have them. I don't know. We might be out of them on the website. And there's a number there that you can call the office. I don't know if Terry caught the biggest bass. Terry had a lot of help catching her bass yesterday. I'll just say that. Kevin just sent me a picture of that boat. Sure looks like the Indian. I would say that's the Indian, Kevin. So. All right, guys. Yeah, if there's something you want from our website and you don't see it, Monica's going to come in tomorrow for a few hours. So if you call like between 10 and 1, she'll probably be there. I'll be down doing boat work on my boat, changing out anchor line and some other stuff I need to do. But yeah, no, that boat's definitely the Indian, I think. Sure looks like it. Can I sell 150? So someone's asking if he can sell a tuna caught on a boat. No. So it's called sport fishing. You can give away fish, but you can't sell fish. That's a good way to get busted and lose your fishing license rights for life and have all your fishing tackle confiscated. And if you caught the fish on your own boat, you could lose the boat too. And you can lose the vehicle you use to tow your boat to go fishing. So please do not sell fish. Give fish away. I give lots of fish away, but do not sell fish. Like Jeff says, he donates his charities a lot. All right, guys, we've been here an hour and a half. I got to go make me something for dinner and finish up a little bit of work before I go to bed tonight. So thank you very much. I'm glad to see so many people here today. I will be here Tuesday. I won't be here Thursday. Victor wants to know, how do you get to San Clemente for day yellowtail fishing? You want to look at boats like the Tornado, the Eldorado, Thunderbird. Those are probably going to be the boats. All right, guys. Well, good night. Thanks for joining me. See you on Tuesday. Bye. Stay safe and be good.